Good afternoon, folks. Big Bo with RVs with Big Bo and Parkway RV Center. Got another great pre-owned fifth wheel value from Parkway RV Center. And we're doing a Newmar today, guys. One of my favorite brands, and you don't hardly ever see these on the used market, a Newmar fifth wheel. But here it is, guys, and this one has, and I cannot stress to you enough how well this unit has been cared for. This is a 2008 Newmar X-Aire. The model number is a 40 CKSH. This is a crossover fifth wheel. And I'm talking about loaded, beautiful, high quality, one of the best built brands on the market, guys. Of course, you know, they knew it back then with the price. When this thing was new, it was about 20 grand higher than a Keystone Raptor or other similar models. But you got what you paid for. It does have a 5500 Onan gasoline generator running right now, powering the entire coach. It's got washer and dryer, 2 airs, 42 feet long. Now, guys, this thing's heavy. That's because Newmar uses a lot of steel construction, including one of the heaviest, dutiest hydraulic slide-out systems they make. It's got 2x4 steel frames on it. 3 of them. You've got 3 slides and 3 axles. So this thing's over 14,000 pound dry weight with a GVWR of 19.7. The hitch weight's over 3,500 pounds. So you're going to need a very healthy truck to tow this thing. I would definitely recommend a 6-wheel dually, diesel dually. But let's look around it, guys. The only thing I see wrong with it, this little J-wrap right here. You can probably wax it, buff it, and wax it, get that out. I just don't have anybody right now that can do that. Make it look a lot better. But other than that, this thing's immaculate condition. The striping, the finish, got a power awning that's out right now that looks great. Rear ramp door goes into a 12x8 garage bay. This is a 3,000 pound weight capacity door. And this thing's obviously never had anything put in it vehicle wise. Because, you know, when you look, especially when you're looking at one that's 14 years old, a crossover that's 14 years old, if they ever put vehicles in here, you're going to see the floor skin up. You're going to see oil stain, gas stains, walls chewed up a little bit. This has got none of that. Honestly, guys, if I could get the original stickers from Newmar to put in it like was in it when it was new, and you would think you'd gone back in time and was looking at a new 08 on the inside. This thing is nice, guys. That's nice. That's how nice it is. It does have a fueling station. It does have 50 amp electrical service. Look, guys, the striping, the finish. I mean, there's no apologies for this fifth wheel whatsoever. You've got 2x4 metal or steel frames in all 3 slide outs, one of the strongest in the business. Of course, that's why it weighs 14,000 pounds. But you've got something that you take care of this thing, your kids and grandkids can use this long after you're gone. You take care of it. And that's something you can't say about many, especially the newer fifth wheels. They aren't built to last like this anymore. Slide toppers look great. I've got the generator running, 5500 Onan gasoline gen. Look how everything's overlapping. Multi-layer fiberglass. It has a Brightech roof system like all Newmars have, which is, think of a TPO roof system and then double the thickness of it, you got a Brightech. Full walkable roof. These are built residential style. Walls and ceiling have 16-inch aluminum studs off center or on center all the way through it. I mean, these things are built like a tank. But you know what they say, the higher the quality, the higher the weight. That's why it weighs so much. But you've got more ride suspension on a fifth wheel, which is really awesome. 10-gallon water heater, triple axle, of course. In something like this, you need triple axle. 5,000 pound cargo carrying capacity. Got a 105-gallon freshwater tank. You know, with that generator, you can pretty much boondock with this without having a campground or going to a campground. So that's always a nice feature. Let's look inside. And you talk about beautiful, and it's all original. Not been messed with. The carpet's original, the vinyl's original. You know, Newmar is just one of those brands that just has an incredible customer loyalty. Most people, once they own a Newmar, that's all they'll have from now on, and I can see why. I mean, just incredible build quality, solid wood cabinets, like you put in your own home, hardwood cabinets. They've got their own unique heat and air system that they've got a patent on, and this unit does have 2 ducted roof air units. It's got a 15,000 Penguin Air and then a 13.5 Penguin Air. So 28,500 BTU cooling capacity, which don't really need today, 64 degrees. But see how they got 2 sets of vents all along the center of the RV. One side is the intake. I believe it's that side right there. That's the intake, that's the outtake. So it sucks in hot air, spits out cold air all the way through instead of just having one central location for it to come in. So not only does it make the entire thing quieter, which these things are extremely quiet by the way, but it gives you even heating and cooling throughout the entire RV instead of having hot and cold spots, because when you have your intake in the center of the RV, the further away you get from that intake, the less airflow you have. This is even all the way through. So really neat design that Newmar has a patent on, and it really shows because it cools these things off evenly throughout the entire RV. And of course, you know, that's why this thing back then was almost $100,000 back then for a new fifth wheel. Back then, that was an unheard of price for a fifth wheel, but not today anymore, unfortunately. Back then, you know, RV prices have doubled since then, so new RV prices. But I've got this unit for $34,900, and that's way under book. I mean, you've got washer and dryer, you've got all the TVs in. This is just a nice fifth wheel, guys, and no smoke, no pet odors, no soft spots. The carpet looks great. This is whole original sofa and upholstery. Looks great. This makes a bed. You can see the wallpaper border like they used to put in these. You know, if it's been stored in extreme weather, hot weather, without being hooked up to power to keep it cool, that starts peeling over the years. It doesn't peel. This unit came out of South Carolina. You've got a queen size loft bed up here. Still got the plastic on the mattress. Now you do have a place for a TV up there. You got a fantastic vent fan in case you're boondock camping. You don't want to run the generator. You can circulate some air to people up there. 10-gallon water heater. Still got some of the sticker on the appliances in 08. Wow. Look at this thing, guys. Look at that stovetop. There is not, and I can say this with pretty much complete confidence, there's probably not a nicer 2008 crossover fifth wheel on the market today in the entire country. And definitely very, very few of them, probably none of them at all, that's got the build quality of a Newmar. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Raptor, the Cyclone, brands like that are decent fifth wheels, but this is the Newmar, guys. It's no comparison. That's like comparing a Lexus to a Kia. Both will do the same thing, but one's definitely going to be a higher quality. And this is it. We're going to walk toward the front before we go to the toy box area. And what I like about a crossover, guys, you can use it for anything. And obviously they didn't use this to haul motorcycles, four-wheelers, anything like that. You know, that whole 12x8 garage bay, you can use it for whatever your heart's desire. You can put stuff in it, you can haul motorcycles, you can make it an office, you can make it into a different room, a hobby room, a workshop. That's why I love crossovers. If you need something to live in, you got a 12x8 garage bay to keep your stuff in. Look at this, got the original bedspread, guys. Look at this huge bedroom. Queen Island bed, washer and dryer up here. Got the combo unit, lots of storage. These are nice solid cabinets. TV up here, original TV. They just do not come any nicer than this for this price and this year model, period, at all. Hey, I'll even throw in the clothes hangers for you. How's that? What a deal. Storage underneath the bed. Plenty of lighting. I mean, you look in here, I mean, there's your remote control for your TV. Your course, little cuddy storage. You got that big closet in the front. I mean, I got all these drawers and cabinets and storage. I mean, this thing is very, very nice, guys. It's not skin up, not beat up, not been lived in. I mean, honestly, I wish I could find 100 of these in this condition I can sell for $34.9, but I can't find them. I just got really lucky and found this one. Let's see here, let's look at the shower. Of course, it's not, this thing's not been stored outside between uses. You can tell that by the shower. It's not bleaching yellow yet, like a lot of them do. Got a China RV toilet. You know, this time last year, that was about $10 worth of toilet paper. Got cabinets and storage up here. This is your breaker box. Okay, well, that's a neat. See, they even use residential style breaker boxes. There's your battery disconnect switch if you want to store it. There's you a couple of extra rolls of toilet paper. And of course, you get a starter kit here too, with 4 rolls of toilet paper and chemicals, adapters, and much, much more that we also include with purchase. And this is a, wow, I'm impressed, guys. You know, because I look at a lot of RVs, and I look at a lot of 08 model RVs and from around that area, and there's very few of them that's going to look like this. You know, that's all original, clean. You know, the only thing I seen was that little spot outside that you could probably, all right, guys, I messed up. I guess I looked at the brochure on the weight. Guys, this is no kidding. This is how heavy this bad boy is. UVW weight, 16,295 pounds. Wow. But like I said, the heavier it is, the better it's built. I don't think I've ever filmed a fifth wheel with that high of a dry weight. So definitely going to need a 6-wheel dually truck to tow it. You've got a ladder right here so you can go up to the loft. Let's see if we can climb up here just a couple of steps to show you what we got up here. And queen bed, like I said, still got the I like the two, you got 2 sets of ducts up here for air, and of course it's fantastic vent fan like I mentioned earlier. So window, not bad. Now let's look out into the toy box or the garage or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, guys, look at the floor in this thing. You've got the track. Of course, the air conditioner's on back here, and it's kind of pointless with the door down. But you do have a very, very nice area back here to make it your own. You can do so much with this, guys. You can make it, like I said, an office. You know, a lot of people who are going to be full-timing or living in a fifth wheel work from some of these places that require you to have a home office that is separate from the rest of your home. Normally with an RV that's impossible to do, but here you can completely lock it off from the rest of the RV. You've got your storage building back here. Think about it, guys. When you're out traveling the United States, you sell your home or do whatever, you have to rent a storage building every month, and you can be hundreds of miles away from that storage building when you need something out of it. Here, you've got 12x8 space to put whatever you want in here. Say you do flea markets, festivals, things like that. You've got a 12x8 garage here to store your stuff to sell, or make a craft room, or a hobby room. The sky's the limit, guys. Close that door, put you a screen on it, and have you a projector, and have a huge media room. Put you some nice theater seating in here, and have you almost a little mini movie theater. Like I said, it's a blank slate to do whatever you want, or do it and use it like a toy hauler. Entirely up to you, guys. 2,500 pound capacity for this area. So got your own stereo back here with inside and outside speakers. You got little stainless steel I can't ever open those things with one hand, but you got a little stainless steel storage compartment. You got pop-out vents. Look at these walls. Look at these floors. There's some things that the previous owners left, so I'm gonna leave them in here. Big old blanket or a rug actually to put over this whole area if you want to. It's just amazing to me. And you got your own door from the outside if you didn't use a ramp door. That is a spring assisted door, so it's easy to put up and down. And you have a screen, so on a pretty day like this, you can lower this down, keep the bugs out, and let the outdoors in. And you also got a locking door, so you can completely isolate this room from your living quarters. You can put cots back there, you can put beds back there, you can put your second bedroom back there if you want to. You got somebody that's in a wheelchair, you got your own built-in wheelchair ramp. Like I said, guys, crossover to me is the most versatile floor plan fifth wheel you can buy because it can serve it serves multiple uses. You're not just stuck with a rear lounge or a front lounge or a front kitchen or rear kitchen or bunkhouse. It can be a number of things. This thing sleeps 6, but if you need to sleep more, you've got 12 by 8 to put whatever kind of bedding arrangements you want to back there. Anyway, like I said, this is a big old fifth wheel. And make sure you know what your truck can handle. I'll put a link to in the video description below to our free interactive tow guide, so you can look up what your truck is rated to tow. I do definitely recommend a 1-ton dually diesel minimum, because this thing is heavy. But I promise you guys, this thing, as long as you're happy with it, this will probably be the last fifth wheel you'll ever have to buy, as long as you're happy with it. Because this thing, I honestly believe, will still be around and on the road if you take care of it when the 2021s and 22 models are falling to pieces going to the salvage yard. These things are just, Newmars are just incredible build quality. You can ask anybody in the RV industry or anybody that's ever owned one, they'll agree with me. Newmars are just in a class of their own. This is something you think you're interested in, the price is $34.9, and that is a bargain price for the condition. It's under book. Like I said, back in 08, these things were, I think they were MSRP was 87, but that's not counting the washer and dryer, the second air conditioner, the generator. You'd spend right at $100,000 back in 08 prices for this. Of course, 2022 models now. $100,000 in a 2022 model isn't that far off, but back then it really was. In fact, this was probably one of the handful of brands that you'd spend close to that kind of money on new, but you got what you paid for. And even now, guys, 12 years or 20, how long ago was 2008? 14 years later, wow, because the 2022s are out. So 14 years. You benefit from the original owner, what the extra money they spent, because you get this beautiful fifth wheel that has been well cared for. You know, I don't care how cheap the price is. If you buy a fifth wheel that hasn't been cared for, you're inheriting somebody else's problems. This thing right here, guys, is nice. Air conditioner's cold. Refrigerator should be getting cold by now. Let's try that real quick. I forgot to check my thermometer on that. But I mean, I can tell you the air conditioner. Oh, let me turn it off Celsius. The air conditioner is sorry, get it to pull up there. It's blowing out 50s. Of course, I don't have it turned down all the way either. I think it's set on 60. Freezer, 15 degrees. It's a 10 cubic foot. It's got the ice maker. Nice. And we do guarantee the roof air conditioners. We do guarantee the refrigerators to get the operating temperature. We do guarantee the slide outs to work and generator to run and put out like it's supposed to, which it does. I got generator running now, air conditioners are getting cold. It's doing a great job, guys. Keeping it nice and cool in here. And refrigerator's nice and cold. Put that ladder up. Anyway, guys, if it's something you think you're interested in, pick up the phone, give us a call, 706-965-7929. If it's something you think you're interested in, call before coming to look, obviously, because I don't get toy haulers or crossovers in this price range with this high build quality and this high of condition very often. You know, most people usually use crossovers as toy haulers, and you know, they're a little bit rougher on them than your average RV, because they use these things in rallies and stuff like that, and they're usually, some of them can be pretty rough, and this one is the furthest from that as you can possibly imagine. 34.9, we'll trade. Give us a call. Haggle free, firm price, but we have no extra fees. It's 34.9 plus applicable sales tax. That's it. Easy, simple, and done. No upsells. Financing available with approved credit and down payment. If you're interested in up-to-date information on that, let us know. We have no interest rate markup like other dealerships do. Other dealerships will charge you a over what they got you approved for. Like, let's just say you got approved to 6% from the dealership's banks that they go through. Well, problem is, you don't know that, because you're dealing with the lenders they work with, not your own. So what they're doing is they're getting you approved at a lower rate, but charging you more, and the bank's letting them keep about 3/4 of that profit, and that's overcharging you by a lot of money over the life of an RV loan. Not only that, but when it comes, they have the upsells. Once they get you approved, they pull out a menu, and this is what I like, guys, because I can tear them apart on this when they try to do that with me. They'll start talking payments instead of amount financed. That's when you know you're getting screwed. Because what they're doing, they're pulling out this menu saying, all right, for this much a month, you get the fifth wheel. For this much a month, you get the fifth wheel plus an extended warranty plus gap insurance. For this much more a month, you get all of that plus a campground package plus a service contract plus a prepaid service plus this, and this. And there's 3 or 4 payments on there, and each one of them goes up when they trying to sell you on the benefits. My advice, from somebody who's been in this industry for 25 years, from somebody that's been on both sides of that desk many times as a buyer and as a seller, say no to all upsells. Thing is, most of that stuff they're trying to sell you is not worth the paper it's written on. Second of all that stuff's marked up 3 or 4 times over what you can buy the same things for cash after you buy the fifth wheel. And what they do is they mark it up 3 or 4 times dealer cost. They add it to your loan, which has got the interest rate marked up that you don't know about, because, you know, they got you approved to say 6%, they're charging you 8%. But they got your payment where you want it, so that's all that matters to some people. So that's how they focus your attention away from how big a mistake you're making, is by concentrating on a payment. And instead of amount finance. Guys, that's the worst thing you can do. Never, ever shop payment. Do your research. Check with your banker or credit union or whoever you do your personal finances with. See what they offer for RVs. And then, so you have a basis of comparison. How long they go, what terms, how much down they require. Of course, you always pay as much down as you can. Your number one goal is when you're buying a used RV or a new RV and you're financing it for the dealership, is to keep your amount financed as low as possible. Pay more money down. Pay as much as you can. Yeah, there's a minimum, I'm sure, about 10% or so, but pay more, because everything extra you pay, you're going to get back when you sell it or trade it later on, because it just helps you build equity faster and or gives you more equity from the get-go. So, you know, never just pay the minimum amount down. Pay as much as you possibly can. Of course, if you have to, you have to. I understand sometimes you can't always pay much money down, but then, of course, there's no such thing as a 0% loan or a 0% down loan anymore, not in the current market, unless you go through your bank or credit union. They might offer something. But keep your interest rate down as low as possible. Keep your amount financed as low as possible. And guess what, guys? Your payment will fall into line with how much you finance and what your rate is. It's amazing how that works. So when they start talking payment, when the dealership starts trying to negotiate you on payment, ignore it. Say, hey, I want to know how much I'm financing and what my rate is. That's what you go by. Anyway, I hope I helped somebody with that. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And again, this Newmar X-Aire, it will not last long. Thank you again for watching. Call before coming to look. Make sure it's available. And if you want to see what works on it, all we got to do is crank up the generator. That's what I love about these crossover fifth wheels. They're so easy to show to people, because you just crank the generator up and everything comes on, which is really nice if you're camping too. If you can't get a campsite for the night, you got to stay in a parking lot somewhere. You can crank that generator up while it's still hooked to your truck, parked in a parking lot somewhere, and have power. Put your rooms out and just be comfortable as can be. 105 gallon fresh water capacity too. You can boondock for a while with this one. Thank you again for watching, and look forward to seeing you here in beautiful Ringgold, Georgia. Oh, I forgot to mention, guys, this is it, I promise. We do have nationwide delivery available. I know not everybody can tow a 14,000 pound fifth wheel. We can. If you're going to set this thing up some property, like say you're going to live in it or set it up on a monthly campground, let us know where. We'll get you a quote. Basically, all we ask you to do on delivery is cover our expenses and nothing more. Thank you again for watching. Look forward to seeing you here in beautiful Ringgold, Georgia.